What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Here for a little recruiting talk for the University of Oklahoma. Before we get started, make sure you have gone to our YouTube channel and subscribed to it. You've turned on your notifications and you're liking and commenting. We appreciate all you, our viewers. Let's get right into it. You had the Devon Jordan commitment pretty much on the eve, I guess you could say, very close to the UCF game. And now you're going to have the aftermath after the UCF game. Some guys were in on some unofficial visits. There's going to be some things happening in the next, I would probably say, few days. But let's get right into it. Maybe what could be the next as far in line of recruitment for the Sooners. We've seen some things on the Twitterverse today, so let's get into it, guys.
Yeah, there's three names that instantly come to mind that could be at any point now. That's Reggie Powers, Grant Brix, and Eddie Pierre-Louis. So one of those three you would think would be the next commit in the 24 class, but the 24 class might not be the class to get the next commit. 25 class is still strong. Kevin Sperry is doing an excellent job recruiting for them. He's at pretty much every single game as an unofficial visitor recruiting. One of his teammates just got crystal balled from the national analyst over at On3, Sam Spiegelman, Tristan Haynes. So would have to expect the four-star wide receiver to be one of the next commit to the Sooners. Also plays corner for Carl Albert as well.
Yeah, and I believe Sperry had a kind of a tweet this weekend, and who knows what that's leading towards. Yeah. Could definitely well be that. Haynes is a guy, before he goes, wherever he goes, if he does go to OU, he's going to continue to rise, in my opinion. I mean, he's got a big upside, and I think over the next year and a half, he's going to increase his star status, I think.
Yeah, at OU, he's most likely to play corner. He's more known for his wide receiver ability at Carl Albert right now. But that 25 class is just so loaded at wide receiver. You already have 3 4-stars, and you have possibly 2 more if everything goes to plan. I mean, Isaiah Mazi, that could happen at any point in time. His dad played for OU, so he's a legacy. OU has been for at least early and late into the summer. They were the leader, then it kind of cooled off, but that's still a possibility. You have Caleb Cunningham, I believe, or maybe I'm getting names mixed up. Andrew Marsh is another one. 2, 4, 5-star receivers that are also possibly going to come to OU. They're going to visit at some point. Emmett Jones is staying on track. At some point, the 26 class is going to get rolling in the wide receiver department as well. But 25 is already off to a very strong start.
Well, and bringing up Reggie Powers, Jeremy, you mentioned him. I think he might be the next commitment. I would probably say either him or Grant Brix, in my opinion. One of those guys will be the next. But Reggie Powers, it's weird because he has an unofficial visit he took. So he hasn't had an official yet, but he made the best decision ever leaving or decommitting from Michigan State. What a disaster that program is. I mean, I don't know if you saw any of the Michigan game. I mean, they got Adolf Hitler up on the big screen. That place is in shambles, and he made a good decommitment from that school. And I think he'll be committing to OU probably very soon. Don't you think, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think Powers will be the next guy, but Grant Brix is one that could be any second of the day, any day of the week. We just don't know on that. But Powers obviously got a few crystal balls, right? So I think that one's pretty locked in. He's going to be a Sooner when he announces. That'll be interesting. I'm not sure when that'll be. We don't have any kind of commitment date or anything like that with Reggie Powers, but pretty much everything points to Reggie Powers donning the crimson and cream. Everything looks good for him. And really, I think a lot of things look good for Grant Brix. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen, when that commitment's going to drop. The interesting one is kind of Eddie Pierre-Louis now. And I don't know. You saw that. I know some people have reported that, was he at the game or was he not at the game yesterday? That's something to be talked about. And if that even has any kind of effect, does it even mean anything if he was or wasn't there? Because it was just an unofficial visit. It wasn't an official visit that he was on.
Yeah, and you mentioned Reggie Powers again. I mean, if he does commit, which I think he will, that gives OU within a week or two Michael Boganowski and Reggie Powers. That's 2 4-stars, and that just solidifies that back end. I mean, they're just going to keep moving up the rankings, guys. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, if OU were to add all of these guys we're talking about in Reggie Powers, Grant Brix, Eddie Pierre-Louis, they will be 4th in recruiting. According to 247, they would jump Florida State, A&M, Bama to move up to 4, still be behind Florida because they're a little bit ahead. But, yeah, that's a great class. If they can finish with the top 5 class in back-to-back years, and then just again, competitive depth has been the thing all year. Look where it's got OU. They're 7-0 right now, number 6 team in the country. And they're going to be adding to it through this recruiting class. And this recruiting class is far from over because the transfer portal hasn't even opened up. OU will be attacking the transfer portal like they did this past offseason. That's why look at the success OU's having right now. Expect another big offseason for the Sooners.
Yeah, and look, you can talk about the 7-0 season and all this other stuff. And look, in the past, it wasn't. OU is basically lacing the entire recruiting class with 4 and 5 stars. I mean, that's what it is. It's just filled with 4s all over the place with some 5s sprinkled in. That's not where OU's been in the last few years. But let me ask you this, and I want the viewers to comment here as we're getting ready to get off this video. Let's wrap it up with this for you and Hunter, and I'll give my input. Out of those 4 names that were mentioned, you got Powers, Brix, Eddie Pierre-Louis, and Tristan Haynes. Out of those guys, how many will they land, and what's the order of commitment?
Ooh,
just for fun. Just for fun.
That's a tough question. I would say Powers, Brix, Haynes, and then Eddie Pierre. And Eddie Pierre to me is the least confident one I have out of those 4.
I would go the same order as Jay, just flip EPL and Tristan Haynes. I think Haynes, I do think he's a Sooner. Again, he's 25. There's no sense of urgency necessarily to get him committed right now. These 24 guys, it's October 22nd right now as we're recording this video, Sunday night. High school football, they're almost at their end. It's their senior year. Early signing days in December, so the sense of urgency for 24 guys is there a lot more than it is for the 25 guys.
Yeah, great win by Carl Albert the other night too over Guthrie.
Man, they're the best team in the state.
I like everything that's happening in Norman, Oklahoma in the recruiting. OU's on the up and up. I think they're going to land all 4. And my order is very similar, except I'm going to say Powers first. I'm going to say Brix second, Eddie Pierre-Louis, and then Haynes. That would be my order. So, yeah, drop your guys' comments, viewers, in the chat. Will they land all 4? 3 out of 4? 2 out of 4? Drop us what you think and maybe in what order. But make sure that you are subscribed because we'll be sure to, as they drop, to drop our videos to you, our viewers. So make sure you're subscribed so you get notified when we do that. Okay, it's exciting times in Norman. Till next time, guys. Boomer.
Boomer.